Welcome. You are listening to the Alpha Beta Chronicles, presented by the Queer Hermit. Stories of loyalty, strength, and the bond between Alpha and Beta. Settle in and enjoy your time with Dad. Test of Men. The morning broke with the pale gold of a cold frontier sun. Smoke from the last of the campfire drifted upward in thin ribbons as Robert saddled the horse. Donnie moved slowly, rubbing sleep from his eyes like a boy half his age. "Eat," Robert said, tossing him a strip of dried meat. "Then pack your blanket. We move." Donnie obeyed, chewing in silence, watching how Robert moved. Every action was deliberate. The fire was doused and buried. The horse fed and checked, gear packed with no wasted motion. Robert had said little, but his discipline spoke louder than any words. "You always this neat?" Donnie finally asked. "Prepared," Robert corrected. "Neat gets you killed slower. Prepared keeps you alive." Donnie smirked, half to himself, but he didn't argue. They traveled in companionable quiet, the trail stretching through open grassland with a thin line of trees hugging a distant creek. The land was bigger than anything Donnie had ever seen, and the silence pressed on him in ways the city never had. Sometime near midday, Robert raised a hand, stopping his horse. "Off," he said, already scanning the ground. Donnie slid down awkwardly. "What is it?" Robert crouched low, fingers brushing the dirt. His sharp eyes followed a pattern only he seemed to see. "Tracks," he said simply. "Fresh, heavy." Donnie crouched too, though he saw nothing but dirt. "Man?" "Bear." The single word dropped like a stone in Donnie's gut. They moved carefully after that, following the trail to where the creek bent into a thicket of brush. Robert led, his every sense tuned to the land. Donnie trailed behind, trying to mimic his silence, but snapping twigs anyway. It happened fast, a rustle, a deep, wet huff. Then the bear emerged from the brush, big, brown, and close enough Donnie felt its breath before he even had time to curse. "Back," Robert said, voice low but absolute. "Slow." Donnie froze. His instincts screamed to run, but Robert's voice anchored him. The alpha's tone didn't waver, it commanded trust. The bear huffed again, pawing the ground, more curious than angry for now. Robert never broke eye contact with it. His hand stayed near his rifle, but he didn't raise it. Not yet. "Breathe," he said quietly. "Do what I do." Donnie's chest shook, but he mirrored Robert, stepping back slow, steady. One step, another. The bear watched, but didn't charge. Finally, with a snort, it turned and lumbered back into the brush. Only when it was gone did Donnie collapse to the dirt, heart pounding. I thought we were dead," he gasped. Robert crouched, resting a heavy hand on his shoulder. His voice was calm, certain. "We weren't. Not as long as you listened." That night, the firelight seemed warmer than the one before. Donnie watched Robert with a new awareness, respect carved by survival. He hadn't just been offered safety. He had felt it, trusted it, and lived because of it. Robert didn't gloat. He didn't lecture. He simply carved meat in silence and let the lesson sink deep. This was the test of men, not who was louder, braver, or stronger in talk, but who held steady when it counted. And for the first time, Donnie felt a flicker of pride, not in himself, but in choosing the right man to follow. Thank you for spending time with Dad in the Alpha Beta Chronicles. If you enjoyed this audio, please like, share, and comment. Come back next week for the next chapter.